those who don't know, I'm the president of Crossroads Civic League. We're getting ready to have, our speakers about Northside Park come up, but if everybody could please raise your hand and wait till we get called upon, and don't just everybody speak at once. So y'all going together?
I'll pass these out.
Take that side out.
And also, if you haven't signed in, please sign in. And there are some bumper stickers up here. Here you go, those bumper stickers. What y'all got?
So, I'm Tom Dalton with Clark-Nexsen. I'm a landscape architect. So we were hired by the city to, first step was we did a master plan for the park, trying to revamp it, make it more pedestrian friendly, safer, and also introduce some new elements to it. So you can see here, you can see a lot of pathways through here, trying to make it a lot more pedestrian friendly. One thing we are doing as far as the front, we're gonna take the skate park, we're gonna improve, enlarge it, keep it be more for like, the enlargement's gonna be more for like younger kids, to teach them how to do the more simple things. Some of the other things for safety is also gonna be like limbing up trees, just cleaning it up so there's more sight lines. Improving the circulation and the parking it for the pool, the pool area. That parking lot really doesn't flow well. So trying to create it more friendly, create a drop-off area for it, for people dropping off kids to the pool. One thing we're doing, kind of manipulating things, trying to get more activity in the back. So one thing we're doing, like the basketball court's being moved up here, but we're also introducing pickleball here, to the west of the pool. That's where the basketball is currently. And the back area, so this core area right here is gonna revamp all the playgrounds, and it's also gonna include a new splash pad and a new restroom building, because we don't wanna have kids all soaking wet going from the splash pad into the pool, into the building. So we create a separate building just for a bathroom. We'd also be taking the concession back here, and, because it's not really being used as a concession. And so what we're gonna do is replace it with a new restroom. The restroom it's down here, will get removed. I think that was all the restrooms, right?
One by the tennis courts as well.
Oh, that one, yeah, one by the tennis court would be removed as well. So this new one for the splash pad would serve the tennis courts as well. This back area right here is where we're trying to really get some activity. So what it is, we're gonna clean up, there's a lot of overgrowth there, so we would clean it up. And it's gonna be more of an active space, so it's gonna have like a obstacle course, rope course, just ground level rope course for kids. Fitness area, so there'll also be a fitness core area here and a fitness core area here. So we're trying to get some active space for everybody. And everybody's, I know the favorite topic is the dog park. So we looked at different options, and I personally had a concern about being here under all these live oaks. I have dogs, Harry dog, but she likes to be in the sun. I think this was just good money. We looked at more of a central space right here, the steering wheel still near the front. It gives you nice vehicular access to it, and it gives you nice access to the trail system we're putting in. And then to create, with all the fitness area back here, keeping with the same theme, This area here would be a agility course for dogs. We can break it into 2 different levels, so you'd have one level for smaller dogs and another level for larger dogs.
So, the dog park at 11, you're breaking it into 2 parts, or it's only gonna be one mass dog park?
You'll have one, no, it'll be a row, so you'd have a sally port, so right in here. So one half would be for the smaller dogs, and the other half for the larger dogs. But you do the double gate sally port, so it's safe.
Mhm.
That way they can't escape also. And I would do a sally port here as well. Just so dogs don't get out.
Size of that dog park.
So that's a couple 100 feet long, about 200 feet. That's about 200 feet long. About 90 feet wide. Actually, there's more room than that. There's probably about 120 feet there.
Okay, my only comment on that is, when we went for this, the director of Parks and Recs, including having us have to go in front of Norfolk Police Department, 3 other civic leagues, we had to present 4 different locations for the dog park. This was before you were here with us, Stefan. Bill Seidel and Jason. We had to have all this voted on. We had to have a plan drawn up for all 3 locations. All 3 civic leagues had to vote on. That's why that dog park was put up at the front. We had to have 3 city council people sign off on that, including the director of Parks and Recs. And I've got those letters stating when we put that. And that's why that ended up under those trees up there, is because, one, Norfolk Police Department immediately went safety, 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 because there is a lot of problems in the back of the park. And everybody knows no matter what you do to this park, there's probably going to be problems, hence why all these cameras. So we literally had to have 3 civic leagues vote off, sign off, and it took us 2 years to get all these civic leagues to sign off on this. And you basically now just told us, well, it doesn't matter.
I personally would like for my dog to be in the shade.
In the shade.
And that was,
There is shade, there's some magnolias there that provide shade. But this is really Daryl, this is the Parks and Recs decision, along with consultant's direction, and that is a more ideal location. Rather than having dog park as the base of the park, coming right into that, plus the skater mix, there's potential conflict, playground, we really wanna separate those activities. Get them, and there's ample parking, most people are parking for the playground or the new splash pad or the skate park, so there'll be ample parking for the dog park. It's the ideal spot, so that's.
like I said, originally, even Daryl had to sign off on the,
I understand, yeah, it's been a long time in the making, and that's.
so basically,
That's the best
we've
spot.
just been told, what we spent 6.5 years doing doesn't matter.
I wouldn't say that, it's just, through, best options, pros, cons, that's where we selected to be the best spot to be, so.
And I would say I still consider that in front of the park.
It doesn't meet the size requirements that both the initial and 2016 requires. 3/4 and a quarter. 3/4 of an acre and 1/4 of an acre for the 2 different sizes.
We have dog runs downtown, I mean, dog parks can go across the gamut, so this will be an ample space spot, plus the agility course in the back, so I think it'll be a really nice amenity. Be
Okay.
safe, and separating those uses can be really good long term. Yes, sir.
Now, this, different arrangements you got, was this a backroom decision by how many people, and was there any other people who asked, or, have a chance to come in and say, hey, look, this is like we'd like to see done?
Well, I mean, that's why we're here now. We've gone through the motions with this. We've talked it through. We're showing you what we think is the best solution, but we're showing it to you all now. And if you're adamant no, then I'll take that message back. But no, it wasn't a backroom deal. That's what you're asking. It was a design process. And through that design process, this is the best solution we came up with. So
We haven't
we're here
started,
to listen.
we haven't started like designing construction documents or anything. This is as far as we've gone.
Right. It's just conceptual. We're getting ready to move into construction documents, which is why we're here. Get feedback.
Well,
I don't know who had their hand up first.
Down over there did first.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Up to the same issue on the dog park, I know about, I've been a member of the Civic for a number of years. Gary's put a lot of effort, Civic League's put a lot of effort in. And we kinda we don't want plans that we approved already, the other Civic Leagues approved, just squash. We wanna have feedback, we wanna be able to vote on again what you proposed to us. We want that assurance from you that it'll be brought back to the 3 Civic Leagues to approve your final concept.
Well, this is sort of our final concept, so if you have those kind of comments now, I'll take it back to the Parks and Rec
You
administration.
can probably take a vote right now and you can find out we'd all have concerns about moving the dog park to the back, particularly for the sake of the
Well,
research.
and to clarify, it's not at the back, it's the prime parking lot area, it's very visible. You know, I don't know that there's much more you can do as far as other places. This area is somewhat problematic, and we're not just saying no because we want to. And there's reasons why we separated it, that kind of already listed out. I'm glad to go through it some more, but this was the direction we'd like to go, but we'll take your input and we'll discuss it further.
Are you gonna take it back to the 3 Civic Leagues and have us vote on it to approve it? As we went through the process and go through this.
I'm not even sure one of those civic needs, sorry,
Well, yeah, that's a good question. So it's Crossroads Civic League would be the sponsor.
We are the primary. By the director of department, your boss, Daryl, we had to go to Northside, Oakdale. We had to have it signed off by, at that time, chief of police would be Goldsmith. We had to have it signed off by Tommy Schmiegel. We had to have it signed off by Andrea. And we had to have it signed off by the mayor. They literally threw tons of hoops at us. And personally, 12 is fine. I couldn't care. That's a good place for it because you got dogs going to be going crazy doing agility. But people just wanting to exercise their dogs needs to be where it originally was put, because we literally spent 2 years of arguing and going around and around with the two city designers, Bill Spidell and Jason. I don't remember that poor guy's last name. Baines. And literally planning. And as I told you, we've actually got to PetSmart and otherwise. We've submitted these plans to them going, hey, we'll even help you fund. It could be a problem now all of a sudden going, oh, everything's been changed.
Well, this will fit easily within the budget, so it's not an issue of the funding.
Yes, so that was gonna be my next
Yeah.
question. So fiscally, who is responsible?
Who's going to be responsible? Yeah.
Are we
This
gonna
will
have to
be-
have insurance, or it's the city's building this, it's the city's baby? and-
No, so there's a moratorium on dog parks across the city. We're not doing it anymore. We have more dog parks per capita. Like
We're the last one. Yeah.
Norfolk, yeah, so this is the last one. So the only way dog parks can be successful if the Civic League helps maintain it, because we don't have the staffing to do so.
Right. By moving it and
There's a
all
list of
that,
rules that have to be followed.
but by moving it,
We're
are
gonna
we?
build it for you all, but then you all have to maintain it. And if
But
it falls
then-
in disrepair, then it would go away. That's how dog parks work.
Right, so they get to design it and say where it is and everything, and then you get to be responsible for it.
Right.
Even though we had to go through all the hoops and everything else, and basically it was where number 18 is, and now it's, oh, well, we're going to move it and you're still responsible for it.
Well, that's why we're here. And I mentioned this, I said this is what's gonna be big issue tonight.
Yep.
And so, shoot the messenger if you want, but I'm just trying.
Oh,
to
we're
let
not
you guys
shooting you.
know This was what.
Don't shoot me either.
Oh, but both of you, but we're not shooting either one of you. But by the way, please both speak up, because I'll tell you who asked me to record this: the mayor and Andrea, because neither one of them could be here tonight.
So, your message is loud and clear, I hear you, and so I'll take it back. And if you want a formal vote, we can do that, sure. That will be something I'll discuss with Parks and Rec after.
The dog parks I've done in the past, I've never put one that's totally shaded by such mature trees. It's gonna be muddy. I'm just telling
We
you.
kind of understood that, and we knew we'd be getting a lot of mulch and things like that.
Yeah.
But out of all, and we actually, one of the other things we had to do is talk to all the other dog parks, and all the other dog parks came, and when we did our whole thing, we had all of them here in one large meeting. Most every dog park owner complained that the dog parks are in the sun, especially in the
Yeah.
summertime. Their dogs cook.
Yeah, you want a balance. You don't want, to me, that's, the other extreme. I mean, it'd be nice to have the balance in the middle.
Well, the way we were laying, there's a large tree there now that the paths go. One of the parks was actually going to be more in the sun. One of the parks was going to be 3/4 in shade. So the larger park was going to be mixed. The littler park was going to be in the shade.
Yeah, the sun helps with bacteria too.
Yeah.
Make it stinky, you know, something to keep in mind. And it could have long-term impacts for those trees, all the compaction, all the urine, all the wear and tear. I mean, those trees are gonna decline based on this. Something else to keep in mind. So there's a lot of pros and cons, and we're trying to let you all know we think this is a better solution, but if you all have this strong of a reaction, then we'll see, it can be relocated. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Block or circle arrow 32, where you have the bus stop is at the intersection of Tidewater and Norman.
Yeah.
I know it's just outside your purview, but are they gonna put in a crosswalk there so people can walk across the street to the bus stop?
I would like to see that happen, and it's
So
not
would
my
I.
call. There is a stoplight going in here.
I'm aware of that,
I think
yeah.
funding was postponed a year or so.
Yep.
That'll help a lot with speed.
It was postponed until the park was
But
done.
I think the bus shelter is so far off the Tidewater, we should push it forward, and then it seems like an ideal connection for a
Well,
crosswalk.
I mean, I'll tell you, right at 32, there's a HRBT bus stop,
Right.
just the
Yeah.
pole. So people going to that bus stop have to run across Tidewater Drive,
Yeah.
which ties into my speed cameras question to the.
I'll take it back to the transit department and see what that would entail. I don't
Yeah.
know if that can be placed, since there is a stoplight here. I don't know, that's a whole nother world.
I understand that, but, yeah.
we did
Before-
talk about just talking to transportation, see if it would be allowed.
People walk across that intersection to the park and the playground all the time. I watch it daily.
Yeah.
Before we go much farther, let's go ahead and have that vote on the dog park
I don't
comments.
think we should vote
Oh,
until we have some more details.
well, I'm back on the topic about the
You know.
crosswalk and all that. One other thing we are doing for safety, because all the playgrounds are gonna be here, is we're gonna put a small fence all along here. There'll be a break here, but the whole fence to prevent kids from trying to run out, just for safety.
I think we should have
It's
some more
just a small
details
fence.
before we do any voting. Like, what exactly are we gonna be responsible for?
Yeah, I know.
The size,
It's less.
It's a good point. I mean, if you all are taking this on, it's a huge dog park. You know, that's something else to consider in the decision. This is nice,
we're gonna have,
this is a
we're
nice
gonna have
spot.
to carry insurance, we don't hardly have funds to keep ourselves afloat. You know,
Also-
Gary, you wanna reach out and get funding, I mean,
Right, but either place location, we're responsible for insurance and all that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about, I would assume the agility course as well. We hadn't talked about that. But I would think dog amenities would be under your purview, yes.
Right, so we're responsible no matter which point it goes in.
If you want a dog park, then yes.
Yes,
And if we take the dog park out,
right,
so
so,
we can do that too. I mean, if that's an option. You know, maybe we just put this on the table and talk about it later. We can move forward, not let it hold up the whole project.
Right,
Something
but-
to think about. Because both of these spaces are not gonna be, there's nothing going here. So if you wanna table this for another.
but I guess our
we could do that.
kind of vote point is, Sherry, we're responsible either which way for whether it's location, so our vote would be the location point.
So then maybe we go with that, and then we let you pursue the grant, and then you all do the dog park process outside of the overall renovation.
Right.
And then everyone can,
But
Get their-
part of your
their-
grant was,
their
and, you know,
request.
cause Daryl originally came to me as part of this was getting this dog, you guys were covering the dog park, so then all we had to do was come up with insurance,
right, so we
which,
would like to do that at this location. We're not comfortable with this location for us, for including as part of the project. So that's where the dilemma is, so. I can take all this back and we'll see where we go with it, but it sounds like maybe it's a separate effort. Yes, sir.
You were discussing all this changes here. We have timeline, years, months,
For what, the whole project?
yeah. What are you gonna start with first? How long is that gonna take? When are you gonna start, when are you gonna finish? And what are you gonna go to next to start and finish?
So design, we're anticipating 8 to 10 months,
Yeah, just, we
So-
have to go through site plan review and everything too.
That puts us at around
Next year.
December, January, right?
Of next year.
January, February, yeah. Then we put it out to bid. We're hoping one general contractor will build the whole thing, because there's components in here that we could build individually, but we're probably gonna put it out as one big construction package. Have one general contractor oversee the whole thing. That would be, duration of that, I would assume 6 months to a year. So from now till grand opening,
2026, you're talking then.
yeah, year and a half to 2 years.
And this doesn't include the, this doesn't include the stoplight.
That's a separate effort. But funding, that's already on the table, and I think, I can't speak on Transit's behalf, but I think that's in motion to happen. So then that, like Tom said, is one thing is pedestrian, circulation in here is really weak. It's mostly vehicular oriented. So starting here, there's a sidewalk that can take you all the way in, and you can loop all the way through this park on foot. Instead of it being a car dominated park, it's becoming a people dominated park. And I think that's really nice. Granted, a lot of people drive here, but a lot of people like you don't go that close enough to walk. Yes, sir.
What's your proposed construction start? What phase you can start with?
Well, we're gonna put it out to bid as one giant project. So, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
When will that be?
Approximate start.
So we were just saying about 8 to 10 months, we'll put it out to bid,
Okay.
and that can take 2 to 3 months. So, next spring, can't really lock in. Site plan review takes time. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's long. You never really know. So I would say next spring we'll be advertising our construction.
Yeah, probably late spring they would start construction.
The sidewalks that you talk about from the entrance to the back, that will not interfere with the White Norfolk trails that are already
It's,
long in there.
it's on
We're not,
the
yeah, we're not touching
north
those.
side of the driveway.
Yeah.
Also, did y'all notice that they're putting ornamental fence all the way from the entrance, all the way down to the tennis courts? So
Yeah.
that's where the kids are always crossing over.
Right.
Yeah, so the only spot to be able to do is at the bus stop.
How tall is
With-
that, fencing?
4 feet.
Oh, we don't have that.
Well, we don't wanna make it look
Wow.
prison-like, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Kids
Kids jump
will
over.
also-
I watch on
No.
Tidewater Drive where
That
black
fence
fences are.
But you also want to deter the little kids too.
Yeah, kids jump over
That's
fences
better
all
than
the time
Yeah.
if it's not in the beeline of where they're going. I see that along Tidewater Drive constantly. Yeah, 4-foot fences. As far as Northside goes, I'm gonna jump.
No, go
I'm
ahead.
president of Bike Norfolk. This is vice president, even though he's a resident here, so I'm not a resident of this. But we have an interest in the trails since we designed and maintain the trails. It doesn't look like you've identified that we have trails from where you have 25 up until close to 1. There's a trail all along there that has.
South side?
You talking about down here?
Yeah,
Correct.
along
Right,
Yeah.
we're aware of that.
Yeah.
Right, it's-
We're actually gonna get that surveyed, so we have it all.
Oh, that's good. Well, 25 looks like it's blocking, the vegetation screen looks like it's blocking where our trail runs.
This right here?
Number 25, the vegetation
Yeah,
screen.
right there.
The trail goes back behind the 26, it goes behind the complex, and it runs right there where 25 is.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on that alignment. We're
Okay.
trying to screen that big gravel lot from the park users, so it's not quite so stark.
Okay, well, can you put in your notes that we wouldn't
Sure.
want the trail blocked?
Yep.
Yeah.
As well, 29, it says our trails, selective clearing and renovations. What's the extent of the renovations? Who's gonna be doing that, or is Bike Norfolk gonna have a say since we've been doing all the work on the trails?
So we are gonna centerline survey all the trails, so we'll have elevation and alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're hoping to do some various, surface, renovations. Not really gonna touch the invasives back there.
What surface renovation?
Oh,
What's that?
the trail surface. Grading, smoothing.
Okay, we won't want that as a mountain bike, it's a mountain bike trail, and the contours that we have, that was based, it's an old landfill, and we were told not to touch the flooring, so.
Are there holes or is there roots sticking out? Are
We-
there hazards, those kind of things? You all have taken care of all that?
pretty much.
Okay.
That's
Well
what
then-
our job, that's what we
Yeah,
do.
actually.
We'll have it surveyed for you.
Sunday morning, we're doing
Thank you.
maintenance, so if you wanna join us, you can see exactly what the work we're doing there and pitch in. That goes to all of you too, maintenance on the trail
Part
parks.
of it is we haven't even been contacted about this, so we're hoping
None of
that the
us have.
stakeholders will be
Us?
able to.
None
Yeah,
of us
but
have.
there's only been, the only reason we knew about this plan is because this meeting. We didn't even know this plan, and that's why she, emailed you, because she heard about this meeting. So we didn't even know this was coming, and we haven't had a seat at the table so far. So do we have a seat at the table for?
Sure, yes, if you have feedback, let me know.
Well, I mean, we're hoping a little bit more than feedback, that we're actually involved with what you're doing on the trails.
Well, it sounds like we don't need to do much.
Well,
I
I
assume we
don't,
would do some trail surface work, but if it's not needed, then we're still surveying it, we'll have that data. We didn't wanna touch the invasive because it encourages people to stay on the trails. So there isn't that much work to be done in back there, unless you have information that you share with us that we could include, then we'll definitely take
yeah,
feedback. And that's why
we
we're
made
doing
a
it.
we gave you
Yeah.
a list several months ago of materials that we need. We do need materials, and you
Okay.
should have that list. So we're hoping that that's in part of the budget.
When you do the surveying, can you contact us and we'll do the walkthrough with you?
Sure.
Thank you.
It won't be me, it'll be a
Yeah,
survey.
and
Yeah,
as
we have
well-
a survey.
Yeah,
Can
I mean,
I
whoever.
finish,
Yeah,
please?
go ahead.
As well as 28, number 28, you have a through trail connection. And what we've been told by the city is that we're able to develop more trails back there at 28. But that doesn't seem to be, it's not, doesn't say like future trails or anything like that. So can we have that designated as a future trails
I'll have to
section?
look into that. We were gonna make the connection from here to here. As far as you wanna develop trails in this whole area,
Correct.
I'll have to look into that and get back to you.
Okay. And there's also, you have our existing sign, number 27, but then there's also a kiosk over by 30 that's not noted on there.
Okay.
There's another existing kiosk.
There's
And
one-
we do
there's
have.
one there?
Yeah, it's a small sign.
It's a
Oh, okay.
tabletop.
Yeah. Can't remember seeing
As
that.
well, we have a Conex box. I don't know if you need to note that on there. It's separate from the cities.
Oh, is it down here with the rest?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just outside of the fence, that's where we keep all of our trail maintenance equipment.
Or is it back here?
Yeah.
It's back
It's back there.
It's back by
It's right next to-
26.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the other
26.
side of 26, not
We're
on the
not-
25 side, but on the.
We're
Yeah.
not planning to touch that.
That's, we were planning on improving that kiosk.
Okay,
Talk about like, so you can do like bike repair.
Bike
okay.
repair station, potentially a shelter if needed. I was gonna ask about that after seeing. if
the
they-
repair station would be nice, yeah.
And if a shelter would be helpful.
Somewhat.
On that note, I would actually maybe recommend putting that closer to the skate park, cause way in that back corner, it'll probably won't last too long, because that's a pretty isolated spot. Whereas at the skate park, you have a lot of BMX riders and scooter riders
Yeah.
who will be able to use those same tools, and they'll be in a more visible spot.
Okay.
Which could be well lit if you put in lights at the skate park, which is what I was raising my hand for.
Yes, we discussed that a little bit.
Discussed that positively, or discussed it and shot it down?
It's a dilemma, because we don't light parks after dark. There's some exceptions with tennis courts and some fields, but we wanna light this out. They're there anyways, what I think you told me, right?
I'm sorry?
Skaters are out here anyway, right?
Yes.
After dark, but I
Yeah.
don't know that we wanna encourage after dark use. That's something we have to decide as a region. But yes, it is on the table.
Okay, because other skate parks around the region are lit after dark and.
Right. Makes sense, it's just,
Yeah.
it would be a break from the norm, so we have to figure out if that's what we want.
And then how late do you light it after dark?
Right.
Well, till 10 or some,
Well, how long do you stay on skate?
I own the shop across the street, actually. I mean, same as the tennis courts, they're on a timer, you could do it, there's
I mean, what would be?
manageable
Baseball
solutions.
field also.
Yeah, the baseball field stays bright well late.
Sometimes at midnight.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be happening.
That
Okay.
should not be.
Well, it depends on how long the tournament, if they got tournaments going on,
Right.
Yeah.
they sometimes go on to midnight.
yeah, that's true. But even lights till 10 or a reasonable time, would be
Okay.
beneficial.
Yes, sir.
My question was, so there's shelters that are along the road that kind of is over to what would be their paths. Are all
Yeah.
those shelters going away?
We're gonna consolidate them the one parking area.
Okay, up in the top.
Right.
And then there was originally a talk about putting a kayak launch in the,
Right.
kind of the back of,
So the waterway, there's a bridge you can't get under right here. So there's not that much water to explore.
okay,
So we didn't think it was a viable thing to
Yeah.
pursue, but I mean, it's still on the table if you'd like to, just
Yeah,
plus
we-
access to it is a little bit of a challenge for getting your kayak back there.
yeah, it was kind of, if you go 27 in your line, it's kind of right back in there, and then it actually, right now, the path down it does kind of open up there. There used to be a bridge there, it's right there, and, but yeah, you're right. I don't go in the water, so I don't know what the water is
Yeah,
there.
we looked at it, we were trying to find the right spot for it, and then we looked and went, oh,
Where to go at the right time.
Well, the water's actually
Yeah.
very shallow, it's only knee deep.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really shallow.
But the other thing
Like
I
you said,
mentioned-
You can't go far.
The other thing I mentioned to you was, you know, up over here, there's that little, whatever. Used to be a bridge right here. The pylons are still good, but whoever ripped out all the top part of that bridge, why can't that bridge be replaced so people can walk to that?
We talked about that as well, and the cost versus the need, I don't know that we wanna dedicate that much budget to that. When you could just walk down briefly along the
So what
backwater
are they
and into
walking
the park.
to over there?
That little road thing it used to, but and I had mentioned this to you, is Melissa Seek's husband. I don't know if he's still at ODU since they now have all moved to Williamsburg, but he was engineering. He's like, my engineering students would
Right, you mentioned that.
gladly, and you could maybe go back
That's
to,
something you wanna pursue, I was letting you know, reach out to me with some kind of email chain, we'll get that conversation started.
yeah.
But as far as scope of this project, we didn't feel like it was worth spending the budget on that.
Yeah, even
We
Melissa
are
said that.
replacing
She
this
doesn't-
bridge.
Yes.
That
The
bridge.
the bridge to the
would
north,
cost
we are replacing that.
nothing.
You're replacing that. What about a bridge connecting, to the
That
cemetery?
too much.
We had opposition from Forest Lawn Cemetery Administration.
Yeah,
and
they don't want
People
that.
walking through there.
There's concerns about.
Vandalism and all that.
Yeah, so for now, no, but it's not dead, it's just we don't.
Forest lawn folks are.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
so
dead
the
set again.
cemetery objected then, that was the
Yeah.
question.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
And again, that'd be a pretty good sized amount of budget that
Yeah.
that should go towards
Budget, to me,
the playgrounds, back.
Yeah.
But
No, I
Melissa's
understand.
husband was
So I know
saying,
you
you know,
said something about.
ODU
shop,
would
the
actually,
shop, the shop.
as an
Did you say
ODU
that building
project.
was on Canadian?
Yeah, we plan to demolish the restroom near the tennis courts and replace it with a
Maybe
new
they
facility.
they would do some
Central
design
kind of
work.
feeds all of these
But
uses.
even
So,
Melissa says that
there'll
for
be
the
no more
scope of
bathrooms
this,
over
you don't
there,
have to
but they just installed the cameras
because it
on.
takes up too much.
People that be using the basketball court
She'll
and the
take
tennis
that.
courts have to
Well,
walk
her husband
all the
was
way
there.
over to
Yeah,
this
but
side
he's
of the park, then
not
back.
gonna be able to build it right.
no, he said
So why can't we just leave the bathrooms that are already there?
That's not what
They,
he said. He
they
said that his
serve their
students can
usable
have
life.
design.
because he was saying that they needed the project to actually do a physical project.
And
that's
again,
why I
if you were to
Yeah,
renovate
they-
that, that's
not-
another
not
good
the
chunk of the
scope.
budget. Whereas why not build a new facility that serves all of this?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
well,
gonna
you
tell you
really
what's
need to talk to
happening,
him
is
more
when those
than,
bathrooms are locked
She'll tell you
and I'm
what he's
over
saying,
there,
and she'll
Yeah.
go on
people
to-
go pee, and I've walked up on there and peed numerous times because there's no place for them to go.
Yeah.
You're gonna have all these guys who are gonna play basketball,
this whole
which,
thing was done
is that
without
just gonna be
any
one
of
court?
Yeah,
Are
I
you,
think so.
are
That's
you
all.
on Taylor for the picnic?
And
First
bushes.
So there's already not
The
enough
trees are gonna
parking
be
there.
right there too, so
I
you
know
know where they're going.
Nobody
Not
knows
enough
that.
parking
No.
already in that parking lot. So now you're gonna
Yeah,
have the
that-
basketball
that ain't
court,
gonna happen.
and no
Nobody's
bathroom.
into
I just see that's
I
gonna be a
mean, do
problem,
you want
there's
the
no
picnic
bathroom.
shelters there?
That whole
Nobody's
end,
into it.
Well, we could leave basketball where it is and put pickleball here. And that's sort of a combined use.
I think that makes better sense to have the pickleball court and the tennis courts together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
Yeah.
makes
I'm
sense.
thinking.
They're similar
Consolidated.
sports.
Yeah, we went back
But I
and
still
forth.
think they need a bathroom.
I saw a big bundle of blue tape someone had ripped off, I guess, from the pickleball. There's pickleball, tennis.
They never reach off each.
Yeah, so we really need to separate those uses. We don't wanna dual strike courts anymore. We wanna just separate the use, so.
But the pickleball over by the tennis courts would make more sense, cause that's what they're doing now,
Yeah,
is there,
basketball could- So we have 2 courts there now, I think, I'm not sure if they're full size, so it might end up being 1 court.
Are you talking about
And they're
existing
used,
one.
they're basketball courts used.
And we were adding, parking
But they wanna put
to serve
pickleball
that
here and
better as
basketball
well.
over here.
So the
I know,
dead end
I
lane that
agree,
goes to the
but
pool building, we're
It's a
thinking of
great
putting
place for
parking off
basketball,
the side of that.
these kids are little. Also, why is the dog agility away from the dog park? Wouldn't that make sense to be near the dog
We're
park?
trying to do whatever we can to activate this space. And we had talked about putting the whole dog park back here, which I knew would be completely off here. So, one suggestion was, in addition to fitness and exercise, ropes course, dog agility, just to bring more activity back there.
The biggest thing about the dog park and what everybody's worried about is overall safety. This park has a safety issue.
Right.
We're hoping to address that with some of these efforts, and like Tom said, limiting up trees, and this area is full of invasive privet.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that out of it, it's a low shrub, I don't know if y'all know privet, I'm sure y'all do. That alone will help with sight lines, really clean this space up, and then just getting people to be here.
Yeah.
That will
And
help
that's what
make-
they're nervous about, having the parks, the dog park going further back, is it becomes out of the sight of line. If somebody's having a problem, basically there's nobody to, if you're near the road screaming,
But if dog parks are
Mike
successful.
knows about it.
But if dog parks are successful, and there's a lot of people back here with their dogs, that's a positive wheel in motion. And
Right,
getting
I'm talking more
activity,
11. I'm
and
talking
it'll
about,
be better.
I'm talking about 11 where,
That's PM?
number 11, where Liz takes her dog,
Uh,
where Suzanne takes her dog, the women take their dogs and get harassed. That's what they're worried about. That's why we ended up in the
I
front.
think you'd have that
Remember,
problem
Liz
right
goes
next to
into
the
the
water.
I think it'd be almost safer here
That-
than over by, it's got, squeezed between skate park and the street, fenced off, I mean, that's kind of isolated in a way. People going 45 down the road aren't gonna help.
But yeah, if you think about it, this is raised.
Yeah.
I get it. I just, when we originally, like I said, even chief of police was like, closest to the road, we have cops that will drive by.
Yeah.
But like, if somebody's standing here and somebody's screaming here, you won't see them.
And if that's a long way to look for a police officer, look from way over here to here,
I get it.
the fence alone is gonna be a visual block. So
I
I
get it.
really think you should think this through, and like you're saying, talk about it if you wanna pursue this, but I really feel like that needs to be probably a separate effort from overall. Yes, sir.
You say in this area that we're looking at, put the dog park in. It's on the main road coming in and out. So everybody that's gotta go by that dog park, that's going to baseball field, to swimming pool, to skateboard park, whatever, they've got to go by that spot, so that's more visible.
Right.
That's true
They're
too.
going fast though, they're driving by.
Not down
55.
Tidewater Drive, yes, but not.
No, he's talking about where it's at on 11.
In the Northside Park.
Steven, we're talking where you have it at spot
Oh, back
11.
here.
Yeah.
Is or is not visible, I'm sorry, I lost.
I
It is visible.
It is
You can
more
see from the
visible.
street.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
saying it is better?
Yeah,
I can
because
see the
like I say,
parking lot.
people gotta go past it to get to the section
Oh,
in the
yes,
back.
yes.
And the baseball fields in the back, they gotta go past it.
Right, I think it's just a more active space, and then like Tom said, with the pool building right here, you have a lot of people coming in and out of the pool, all ages.
Well, plus you're putting
Well,
parking on the other side of it too, so yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, there's. there'll
You're gonna be parking on both sides
You're
of
not
it.
competing with parking for all this new activity.
Yeah.
And the dog park, you have to walk from back here, or even back here, all the way to the space.
It seemed like everything was trying to get crammed in the front, and it's like, we have a big park, why are we putting everything into one spot,
It's really just open and nice, it's really pretty there, so to go and fill that up.
Well, then my comment is, are we gonna get lighting there so that, cause if people bring their dogs in the evening, they're not in the dark,
Well, the parks are supposed to be closed at dusk.
right? But
So-
as you just commented, and Ghent and several of the dog parks are allowed to be 7 to 7 because, people work. So, we go 7 to 7, let's make sure we have lighting back there so that they can.
Right. Well, let us know. I'll let that be a response from Crossroads Civic League.
But
on how you wanna proceed with the dog park.
I
but
would,
I'll
I
take
would
this
go
back to
yay
Daryl
if
and
we
see what
were,
he thinks.
if we were assured we'd have lighting back there, cause that was the other thing. If they would come at night, there's lighting from Tidewater Drive.
Well, we're gonna improve lighting throughout the park, but it's Dominion, so we have to work with Dominion as far as poles go and locations. I'm trying to minimize having to move poles, so a lot of these configurations allow existing light poles to stay.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Security lighting will be part of the overall effort.
I would, me as one of the voices that are kind of going in, and one of the reasons I'm going in is because that was, like I said, they questioned if we stayed open until 7, the only lighting we get would be from Tidewater Drive. If we can get lighting back there, I would then be more willing to say, yeah, that's a good space.
That's another good point. I mean, underneath all this canopy, it's gonna be dark.
But you still have road lighting, and they
You still have
improved
road-
lights on Tidewater Drive. They put the new, like,
If you're willing to put lighting there, I would go, yeah, it's a good place. If there's no lighting, then I'm still gonna go, yeah, 18.
Okay. But still, I'll wait for, so I don't feel like I'm making a decision on the roof.
I get it.
I'll wait for a formal response from Crawford City.
There was talks in our civic league about a frisbee golf course.
I think that got killed, thank God.
There's too much going on in the park for a proper fairway for disc golf. We looked at trying to make it work, but there's just too much going on in this park, unfortunately.
These paths throughout the park that you've added, what's the surface going to be?
Asphalt. The intent.
Not gravel.
Well, not that, not that crushed gravel.
Stone dust,
Mhm.
potentially. So we were going through an issue right
Not
now.
what's on Austin.
Stone dust is attractive and somewhat permeable. I mean, I don't know. If it's called
No, it
permeable, but- Yeah, but it's a greener solution than concrete or asphalt. But there's issues with maintenance, keeping it graded.
Elderly can't, walkers and things like that, you end up
Works
with they can't walk on it.
Perfect at Bay Oaks. Hyde Park, which we did recently, we've had nothing but problems with it because the subgrade's so wet. But that's we can definitely consider that. Maybe certain areas get stone dust, some get asphalt.
The thing with asphalt, and you got trees, is that the roots
The roots
come
come
up.
up.
Right,
and-
there's
Yeah.
stone
And then it
dust.
still needs maintenance.
I think that's where Stefan and I had talked about like that being stone dust, because it's under those pine trees. So I think we talked about certain spots. would be the stone dust.
Combination.
Yeah. I think predominantly it would be asphalt, some concrete.
You want it to be, I don't wanna say ADA compliant, but you want it to be elderly compliant,
Oh, no, it
stroller
has to be
compliant.
ADA.
We're
Huh?
also gonna look into a binder, which adds cost, but it does set up firmer.
You had a question?
Yeah, I have two things. As far as the dog park at 11, I park over there by the swimming pool, my daughter's on the swim team, and it's generally fairly well lit. Like, we're normally there till like 8 o'clock at close,
Uh-huh.
and it's not like spooky dark.
Great.
I go there by myself all the time, so, as far as that, like, lighting was concerned, it generally isn't bad.
Okay.
And then I had some questions about the playgrounds, sorry, I'm gonna jump into something else. Is it new playgrounds? Cause I know, is the one still melted, I haven't been.
No, it's been fixed.
Has it been repaired?
It's been
Okay,
a
I
long
haven't
time.
been back because
They
it
haven't
was
melted
melted,
it
my
again.
kid's like climbing on melted fish.
So during the pandemic, play equipment, some of it was taking 8, 10, 12 months to get.
Yeah,
So that, I think that was the big thing, that
Okay.
replacement part took like a year just to get.
We
Yeah.
torched it.
so is it gonna, so they just reuse the remaining stuff, or is it new, or?
Start over, clean slate, amazing new playground.
Okay, cause I know some of it wasn't that old. So, is there a plan, like, sorry, it's kind of, what happens to the old playset?
Well, we haven't really explored that yet, I don't know.
Okay, 'cause like I know Crossroads doesn't have a playground. They have one for pre-K, but they never built it into the plan for the school,
Uh-huh.
and that's it, so.
Crossroads.
The
is there-
school.
The Crossroads
Is there a place
School.
for a playground?
Yeah, they didn't have the funding for it, they went green instead and built the rec center.
Okay.
So they don't have, they have pre-K and kindergarten play set, and that's it. And the kids play on grass and blacktop.
A lot of times demolishing old playgrounds, their footings are.
Oh, I know,
enormous.
they
So
are.
usually by the time you get it out of the ground, it's damaged to the point where you can't salvage it, but we can look into that.
Oh.
Did you have any other
No, that was mostly it, and then, I was just gonna say, I do like the fact the bathroom is gonna be over there. Because little kids, playgrounds, bathroom breaks are
Yeah.
constant, like today we were over at Community Beach Park and there's no bathrooms in, like, wrong side of the parking lot. And I don't even know if they're open yet for the year, cause it's a beach. But,
We'd like to consider a style of bathroom that it's just a door to a stall rather than walking into a room. You know, and then have an exterior undercover, but an exterior sink to wash your hands. I think that'll be a safer, facility to maintain. And then the doors, hoping the doors will have electronic locks.
okay.
So at whatever time you can no longer get in those stalls, so hopefully it'll be a nice, cleaner, easier to maintain facility.
Okay, and
So-
then with the playset, are they gonna be putting in benches? I know there's a couple benches
yes.
over there.
Okay.
They're still gonna keep benches?
Oh, and I don't know if I said, also all new site furnishings throughout the park.
Okay.
Electronic locks, you're talking like 9 to 5, and then after 5, they would be locked. Okay.
The nice thing about the electronics, like, for here, if there's a baseball going on or softball.
They can keep them open,
They can
right?
keep them open longer.
So somebody doesn't have to go, I get that, that does make sense.
Right.
So, you're taking away the bathroom, you seem to be like obsessed with bathrooms. Well, you're taking away the bathroom at the tennis court, are you taking away the bathrooms that's at like
Yes.
18?
Right. That,
So there's gonna be 2 bathrooms for the whole park?
well, so we're talking about this one back here.
Right.
This is, it's time for renovation and it's not open all the time anyway. We thought for safety reasons, for a lot of reasons, it's probably best just to demolish that structure.
You're talking the one that's back there around like 18.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's scary.
Yeah.
So you've got the pool building restroom, you've got the new restroom, and we'll consider if, maybe we can do a prefab or something, I don't know. We'll have to talk about that, but,
We can put
I know
that
the
It
one
might
you're
be-
saying is
So-
scary, but when we were having a picnic, it was nice to have it.
Yeah,
Didn't
it
have
is
be
kinda
all
nice to have
open
something
all the
back there.
time, But
um,
I'd rather have one by the tennis courts. We got one.
What about the baseball? So none by the baseball field?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
there
one.
is.
There's one. Where's that one?
Number 5.
Where the building
Yeah,
is
we're-
now.
we're
replacing
Where it
it.
is existing now.
Keep in mind with number 5 and the baseball, that it shouldn't just be for when baseball's in, there's a mountain bike trail system there.
Right.
And we'll be doing maintenance on Sunday, and I can promise you that no bathrooms will be open, you know.
it's been vandalized so much. Right now, I went out there today and there's a sink out here in the.
Understood.
in the outfield, so keeping this, open is a challenge. But like I said,
Understood.
maybe by activating this space, we can overcome some
Well,
of that.
at least on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Or put it over by 12.
it's not just about the fields. And I
That's
like,
the building that's already there.
I like where it is.
12 is a shelter. Oh, yes.
No,
right.
No, 12 is the new dog,
Agility.
is your agility
But
course. Put it near 12 where you're gonna have dogs, so people aren't.
It's already there. It's not a new
No,
bathroom.
no, you guys are talking different.
I'm talking the mapping, if you're gonna, put maybe something at 12 in that area so that, incur the dogs and stuff like that, and, mountain bikes can still use it and things like that, and a little less chance of being vandalized when you have a whole bunch of dogs right there.
Right, that's what we're hoping, and, Tom mentioned a little bit of like a ropes course, and so there'll be a lot of different things for different demographics to come back there. We're hoping that alone will just get that space more lively.
Again, too, if we do the electronic locks, then you have a set time on Sundays when you're doing doing trail maintenance, probably can be worked out to where it can be open during certain times.
Well, as you bring up electronic locks, good example, Liz being the president, maybe so she could actually, just like this building, I have a key card on my phone. I can open that lock, so I could let you guys in. So she could let her Bike Norfolk crews in.
We could always do something where we send a message to
Yeah.
the city.
So I was on the baseball board for my kids and I coached for, I don't know, I lost count 9, 10 seasons, I don't know. So they would it was Chesapeake, but they would never give us the code to the lights.
Right, but I'm saying,
But that's what we would have to do, is we would just have to message them and then they would unlock.
right, but even a key, simple key card, Liz is the
Yeah,
president, boom, unlock that
yeah,
lock.
as long as somebody centrally unlocks them
Right.
during,
That's how it's usually done, because the cities don't want to give.
I mean, they should just be unlocked during park hours.
yeah.
But,
true.
Well,
I-
I mean,
I get it.
it's
Sometimes
the
you don't want to.
catch-22.
Yeah.
You got, you're saying these things get vandalized, but then if you don't have a place where people enjoy coming to because they
Right,
can't go to
they're
the
not gonna
bathroom,
go.
then you don't get people in. So if you're gonna renovate it, at least, you know, our philosophy when we put the signage out was give the community a chance. You know, we were afraid that the signage was gonna get vandalized. We've had very little the signs look like that, but we've had vandalism, but far less than we thought it would be, because we gave the community a chance. And I think that the community needs a chance as like a reboot,
Yeah.
you know, and not assuming that this bathroom that's gonna be much nicer than the one that's there, it's gonna be vandalized.
Well, the other thing too, if you look at the size of the one that's there now, because it has the concessions and storage, it's huge.
Yeah.
So the sight lines around it, I mean, it's so easy to hide around that thing.
Yeah, but even example, the winter months, bathrooms are closed, so, you know, winter months, you guys are still doing stuff out there.
Well, people ride bikes in the winter.
So
Year
you,
round.
Mountain biking is the best time to be on those trails is the
but
winter.
my point being is you could then text and say, hey, we're gonna be out there doing
Yeah.
maintenance, can
Well,
you
they're-
unlock
I
No,
these?
they're
understand.
winterized, because we don't have heat and air. And this building might, so that, I don't know.
I've done that where we keep them.
So, yeah, but typically restrooms all over the city close November and March because of frost and ice makers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, you talk about key cards and stuff like that. You know the baseball field fences are locked. I mean, nobody can get on the baseball fields now. What I see was, because I walk my dog around there, I've seen the coaches on the baseball teams go up there, they have keys to those locks. So somehow, some way, they might distribute keys so they can get there and play the game. So I don't know, you know,
And that's usually only the board members.
I mean, I know that's all the.
But again, my point being
There's
is-
gonna be a lot of keys out
Yeah,
there, but
bathrooms
still,
are a little different though.
you know, I mean.
Same concept.
Yeah.
You got that digital locks like you get on the Airbnb houses now, so that would be,
Right.
give them the code.
I guess the only risk is that eventually the code just is out there, right? But,
Well,
yeah,
it's
we
not
can-
even giving the code, you, like Liz says, she could text and go, hey, our crew is out here working, unlock the
I
bathrooms,
think
please.
it's manageable that way, yes.
That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah,
I can tell you when we were on the board, we were getting new keys all the time because
yeah.
people were duplicating them.
Well, a good example, like I said, there's a key card in the back of my phone here. I can unlock that door, but they can also revoke the access to that key card, just like
Yeah.
that. No, you can't duplicate that, but I can open that door.
Oh, one more question. Was it on purpose, what they planned, that you put all the little shelters, like number 10?
Consolidated.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where they are now.
You know, they're actually spread out.
They're spread out.
There's
Well-
six or eight there, and then 4 further down.
Okay, so,
We were doing less.
so they're gonna be spread out, or there's gonna be those 6 right there, because if somebody's playing music, and I see fights happening, being that close.
Yeah, I don't wanna, I don't wanna have my party next to your party,
Yeah, that-
sorry.
That little parking space you got there ain't gonna accommodate everybody that's gonna go to them shelters.
And then
That's
they'll
why we're
start
reducing the
parking on
quantity,
grass.
there's a circulation issue there, people parking, pulling around. So we're trying to clean that up, reduce the amount of shelters, provide a little bit of parking, and just try to make it, so that if you look also, there's a loop that we've drawn, so you can turn around without having to go all the way back to the back of the park.
But kinda the way they
Just
are
trying to
now,
improve circulation.
you know, if you have like Keep Norfolk Beautiful, we've done events where we'll just use reference some numbers, 18. You know, we go back there and we'll do Keep Norfolk Beautiful of 18 and that other larger one. But then somebody will come in and have a picnic up at the other one. You don't wanna have everybody just on top of each other. We've done, events ourselves, where we're painting trash cans and whatever. Well, nothing personal, I don't want your birthday party at our, Keep Norfolk Beautiful event, things like that, you know. If all the shelters are literally just right on top of each
That's how they
other.
are now. So.
There's
You
two
wanna
at,
spread them out, is what you're saying?
yeah, there's 2 at 18, there's 2 at 18, and then there's a couple more further out.
A couple more.
There's actually 4 here.
They're at
I think
12.
6 or 8 here. It's a total of 12.
Right, but there's like 2 at spot 18,
Right.
and then you come up a little bit more, there's a couple more,
Yeah.
and then, you know, it's literally, they're just not all boom, right in one spot. Let's all have a fight for playtime.
Okay, we can look at spreading them out. But there's a little bit of concern with being so close to the water and moving, like, we really need to stick with where one is now, just renovate kind of what's there, rather
Yeah.
than create a new spot.
Well, not so much,
So
just
we'll look at that.
kind of leave them where they are. I get it, you want to remove the bathroom out of that one, but just kind of leave them in their spaces so not all the families have to sit on top of each other's family as you're having a picnic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, you know, if we have COVID again, personally, social distance, you know, sorry, your kids on my kids, no thank you.
If we have it again, it's still.
COVID round 2, COVID
Never
round
know.
3, you know?
But yet, he was talking about, if you look at that, right now it's got that weird angle parking, so we just simplified it, it's straight.
Yeah, I
parking.
get that part. It's just, you know,
That stuff
but
is just-
by this drawing, it looks like they're literally,
All on top of each other.
Right.
This is,
Yeah.
granted, what, I don't know what scale we're at here,
This is
but
100.
100, yeah, so they're pretty spread out. I know what you're saying, but, we'll take that into consideration. Maybe we put a few up here. We just want to reduce the footprint of them primarily for circulation issues. We are adding a shelter by the basketball court up here, or, I'm sorry.
Pickleball.
Pickleball. Renovating the big shelter. It's there now, kind of between these two, fields. And then we were saying, potentially a shelter for the, new bike roads back there.
Up here. Well, okay. Well, you were talking about more for the repair station up here.
but yeah, maybe keep a shelter somewhere around 18.
Oh, over here?
Yeah, because there's 2 shelters in that location now. And then you're actually eliminating a shelter to put in 12. You're eliminating 2 shelters there because there's, well, you're eliminating, yeah, because there's 3 shelters over at 9.
Yeah.
So at least keep, you know, a shelter in location 18. So people want to be able to, you know, spread out a little bit.
I mean, with the graduation ceremonies, they have parties up there too, and that's a bunch of people when they hit. So that's why the bigger shelters go pretty quick for reservations.
Yeah. And like Keep Norfolk Beautiful, we always, when we do stuff and things like that, and even when we've done park cleanups, yeah, we use the building that happens to have the bathroom in it because it's a small shelter, but it's also at that key location. Everybody can find you. They can park at either 25 or 16, and we go out from there cleaning.
How about water? Water at the dog park?
Yes.
How about water, like fountains for,
Yes. Yeah.
because none of them currently work.
Right, so we're gonna remove the old antiquated ones, put in, most likely, bottle filling station here, there as well. Definitely over by the tennis courts and some water. We already have utilities there, so that shouldn't be too complicated to add.
Yeah, I always put them in a dog park, but I'd put one in the agility too.
Does anybody else have any more questions?
Number one, getting the whole.
I mean, we got time to abuse them some more?
Bring it on.
Yeah, please let us know in the comments, that's what we're here for.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll email you, Gary,
Got one.
so that we get straight on some facts, you know, some clarification, what our responsibility would be.
What was that, Sherry?
That we would reach out to them to find out what our responsibilities would be, so we get some more facts before we
Yeah.
make any final decisions, votes.
Yeah.
We can clarify. Okay.
Okay.
Yep,
Oh,
yes, ma'am.
oh.
Sorry.
Sorry. I just had a question, with the youth ropes course and the obstacle course. Obstacle course, is that like the one that's down on like Granby over by the zoo, or
Essentially, just basically play equipment for adults.
big kid play equipment?
Big, right.
Okay, awesome. And then the youth ropes course, what's the idea with that one?
It's more of like, you know, like have a little ramp, you can climb up it, there's nothing that they can get hurt on, obviously, so it's all low,
Okay,
yeah.
but
I have-
still,
I have visions of, you know, tree canopy rope, but that requires an attendant, and we don't have the staff.
yeah,
That'd
okay,
be really great.
But it would be something different though than a regular play set,
Yeah.
or
There's
more
even
natural
ones-
play, balance
There's even ones
beating
where
type
it's like,
stuff.
there's even
Kid
ones where
kinda
it's like
down
this
by
rope,
Lafayette was
like
probably
two-
what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kid related.
stuff.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
Do y'all have a business card too?
Yes. I have to run out to the car and get them out. I forgot to bring them in. I'll do that.
Leave your wallet here as collateral so we know.
He's gonna leave me here and never come back.
Oh, don't worry, I actually have all his contact information. 3 times over.
You wanna hang on to this?
Sure.
Okay. We have some extra 11x7s.
Yeah, just leave them, we'll keep them.
All right.
All right,
Not
well,
sure
thank
how
you for
much.
your time, fellas, appreciate it.
I will,
Yes, sir.
Do me a
Thank you for your
favor,
time.
louder, restate who you are, cause you never
Okay.
introduced yourself at the beginning.
I'm sorry, I thought I did. Tom Dalton, I'm a landscape architect with Clark-Nexsen.
Say that,
Tom Dalton.
Dalton.
She did.
The Dalton
His name's
gang.
on the email.
I wrote it down.